Hey guys, Chris with you. Today, I'm going to show you what I slept on every night on the Appalachian Trail. This is the Thermarest Prolite sleeping pad. This is the 3/4 length, which I kind of do not recommend. I sleep in a ball here and there, all curled up, fetal position. That's usually how I ended up. But when I wanted that extra, 10 inches of foot room, my back kind of hurt just a little bit. Just that little bit of, half inch where your feet are hanging off the edge, it can definitely mess up your back and crank it up a little bit and flex your knees a little bit. And that I didn't like about it. So before I go back on the trail this spring, I'm going to invest in the full length version of this. I believe this one weighs 10 ounces. I didn't use the stuff sack for it. I just rolled it up and just stuffed it between my sleeping bag and my clothes bag. It was fine. Nothing was going to puncture it. It just folds out, and then they say they self-inflate. They do to a certain extent, but you still have to blow them up. You undo this. When I got to the camper, laid out my sleeping pad, I would just undo this valve and lay it out on the ground. And by the time I got the rest of my stuff all set up, it was partially inflated, and then I didn't have to sit there and blow it up all the way. But let's put this down on the ground, show you kind of the length of it. I'm 5'5", so this is usually how I slept. I did not have a pillow. I did for a good while, but it ended up breaking. The valve on it went bad. But I recommend a pillow instead of a clothes bag. It's not that much more weight, and it adds that much more comfort. I believe it's Cocoon, the brand that I had. Thermarest also makes a brand, but Cocoon is one of the best ones I saw. But you got this little bit hanging off, and that flexes your knees, and I didn't like that. So let's give it a second and let it air up, and I'll be back and show you some more stuff. Okay guys, so we got this blown up. You can see it's got like a honeycomb type of pattern. That's to help with the weight distribution. And got a really tough ripstop type thick material on top with some padding underneath it. On the back, I put this thing on the rocks anywhere pretty much, and I was really surprised that I didn't get any punctures in this thing. But it's got a really tough backing on it, and it's like a non-skid backing, really durable. I laid on this near the campfire, or just anywhere that when my feet hurt or something, I'd stand on it sometimes. Anyway, so you got about an inch of air between you and the ground, and you can adjust this any way you want with this air valve down here. Like I said, this is the 3/4 version, and I would recommend the full length version. Yeah, it might add you a couple, maybe 4 ounces, maybe, but it'll be worth it because your feet hang off right here, and it kind of bends your knees, bends the joint a little bit, so that can be kind of cumbersome, or it kind of gave me a little bit of pain. I would recommend a pillow instead of a clothes bag for your sleeping system. A lot of people do that to save weight, but I really liked my pillow when I had it. I believe it was a Cocoon brand. It was really nice, and you could have the same valve on it. You could adjust it how you wanted to, but a really good sleeping pad. And then you can just come up here and let the air out just a little bit to adjust your comfort the way you want it. It'll, form your back and everything. So this is what I carried, and I would recommend it. Definitely the Neo Airs. The Neo Airs are really thin. I don't know. I didn't like those, and I saw a good amount of people who had issues with those because they're so thin and they're really, really loud in a shelter, and you can hear somebody moving around. There were nights where maybe two people with the same type of Neo Air mattress, and it just sounded like rubbing your hand on a balloon all night. It's kind of hard to get to sleep sometimes, especially if they tossed and turned a lot. And then I saw a lot of Neo Airs that had issues with punctures. I know there's patch kits for them, but then a couple guys I knew used the patch kits, and those ended up either failing or they got another puncture, a week later or something. And if you baby your stuff and you treat it really, 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 really well, yeah, it'll probably last for you. But when you're out on the Appalachian Trail and you're sleeping on the ground and in shelters every single night, you're going to have a failure. I had a failure, but I went to Pennsylvania and visited a buddy, and his dog ran across this and punctured it. It was a pretty decent gash. I looked on a couple forums and found that just a $2 bicycle inner tube patch from Walmart was one of the best things you could use for these. It comes with the rubber cement, there's a couple little different patches, these rubber patches, and I've used this probably 20-30 times since then, and nothing. I might have to go around these little corners right here and put a little more rubber cement on it, but it worked out great for me on the trail. But like I said, I'm going to get a full length. I tried one of my buddies. He had the mummy style. It was a red mummy style. I didn't like it, only because I like to have my feet a little further apart, not like in this one little section, so that's why I liked this squared off part better. So that is the Thermarest Prolite, and that's what I carried. So check them out. There are plenty of different kinds of sleeping pads, and I also tried out the Thermarest, the really light ones, the yellow accordion foam ones. I don't know how people slept on those, especially after sleeping on this. It just feels like you're basically still sleeping on the ground. You just maybe have some insulation between you. But this is what I recommend. So you guys make your own decisions, and till then, talk to you later. Take care.